with our family, and they're ready to answer your Facebook questions about motherhood. The best thing that ever happened.
Happening over
So
here.
true.
To all of us.
We are family.
Yeah.
I got all my sisters and me.
That's right.
Facebook viewer.
I just want to remind you that they're looking for your advice.
Yes,
Our
yeah,
viewers.
yeah, please.
Straighten up.
Okay, first one goes
Dignity.
to Kristen. Facebook viewer Samantha Evans says, Kristen, what do you do in situations when another person's child is badly behaved around your own child?
Oh, this is a touchy subject for me. You
Why?
guys,
All of us.
this week on the playground, a three-year-old who was like the size of a linebacker tackled my
son.
tackled
That's
my
not
son.
the 3-year-old. That was-
Yes, and started strangling my son on the playground. And of course, he's a child. He did, I'm not going to get angry at a child, though the mama bear in me did rev up a little bit. I was more concerned with his mother, who did absolutely nothing. Didn't even say, you can't do that, or absolutely nothing. And what I did is, well, first of all, I had to physically remove the hands from my son's neck because he was really strangling my son. And then I just said, no, that's not okay. And I said to his mom, that's not okay.
Yeah.
And then I just took my son away. But I think in retrospect, I wish I would have said a little bit more to the mom.
Yeah.
I think I was so just wanted to keep it together, not do anything crazy. But looking back, I wish I would have been like, you saw it.
Yeah.
that
I
your
went through that
son
with
was
me, but I
That's
know
not
bullying.
okay.
I did actually say something to the parents, but it's a you're in a compromised situation because they can attack you back, but they actually
Not the kid, the parents.
No, the parents. It's scary.
Yeah.
But don't you think it's like a red flag for us as parents to take responsibility and make sure that our children don't exhibit bullying
Exactly.
behavior? Because
Yes.
bullying is a real
Very
thing.
much.
Yeah.
And so at the first sign, I want to, do something about it. So if anything, it's inspiring me to make sure I catch that in my son if I see it. For
Yeah.
Sure. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we're going on to, this is Dr. JJ. Facebook viewer Cheryl Lee Stella Long says, Dr. JJ, my 9-year-old has developed motion sickness and Dramamine makes her sleepy. Are there any other alternatives?
There sure are, and I can certainly relate to that because I am one of those people as well. So a couple of things. First of all, when your daughter is in the car, the key thing is not to have her read or have a screen in front of her because rapid eye movements actually add to nausea and motion sickness. So that's rule number one. Rule number two is have her stare at the horizon. So have her look through the front 2 seats or out the window and not do a whole lot of looking around like this because, again, those rapid eye movements add to nausea. But one great non-medicinal way to help besides ginger or soda crackers are these little wristbands. They're called acupressure bands, and there are many brands of them.
They work?
And they work on basically a Chinese acupressure spot called Ni Quan. And what it is, it's called the P6 meridian, and I'll show you how to find it. If you look at your first wrist crease here, put 3 fingers down from there, and find that spot right between your 2 tendons that work these 2 fingers. That is your spot. And you put...
How accurate do you have to be? You got to be right
You have
on
to
it?
be pretty accurate.
Accurate
pretty
on
accurate.
it.
But
I've used those, and they really help.
And you put
They
the
do.
bulbous part of the ball on there about 2 to 3 minutes before you get in the car. And
Or on
then
a boat.
if you're taking some turns and she's getting a little motion sickness, have her press firmly on it. And this way it's not on the pulse point, it's in a safe point.
What does
And
that do?
It signals blocking chemicals that block nausea from your brain. And then if you put a little oil of peppermint on the band itself and take a little sniff of it also, what that will do is help with move stomach contents forward, because if they back up into the stomach and cause stretch, that causes nausea too. So it's a great non-medicinal way, and she'll smell minty fresh at the end.
Real quick, you said that from the first creases, first crease in your hand, and then
Your first crease of your
from
wrist,
your hand going to your
3
wrist.
fingers down,
Okay.
and then the
Does it have a
spot right
crease?
between the 2 tendons.
Okay.
So if you didn't have one of these, guess what? You could use your finger and do that too.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
But these are handy. You can keep them in the back of the car.
Okay. This Facebook viewer is Melanie O'Hergel. This is to Kim. She says, my husband is much older than I am, and I can't find him. No. Just a joke. No. I'm sorry. All right. That's so you have to put, because okay. My husband is much older than I am, and we're expecting our first.
awful.
Well, no, it has nothing about her husband or my husband. It's just the segment that you just did about finding things.
Right.
Okay. So my husband is much older than I am, and we're expecting our first child together. I know there's an age gap between you and Jerry. Would you say that being an older parent is a disadvantage to your child?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Yeah.
And we really did get that a lot. And when Jerry and I were first married and we were talking about having a baby, that's Jerry and Hunter and Gatsby and I at
That cute boy
one of
takes
the,
after his dad.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm sitting right here. I know what I'm saying. And so, we really did talk about that. And a lot of people said, like, how are you going to feel? And this would be great for you chime in on. How are you going to feel, Jerry, when Hunter is in high school and you're the oldest dad there? And so, cut to 18 years later. Jerry has been at every single solitary one of Hunter's practices, every one of his games, everyone. And let me just tell you this one quick story, you guys. So all the boys come over to our house, as most of you know, and they all have dads that are a little around Mark's age or a little younger, and they're in their 40s and they're working so hard to climb up the ladder, rightfully so, starting businesses, starting their, getting their careers established, paying a mortgage, having children. They don't have the time to be around their kids. They come to our house, and a couple of them have actually had tears in their eyes and said, Hunter, you are so lucky that you have a dad that's involved in your life, and we really wish we were you. So the moral of the story is, if you have a mom or a dad that loves you,
Yeah.
And that's a blessing.
Yeah,
it sounds like. It
Yeah.
really is.
It
It's
is.
true.
Very
I'm glad
insightful
you talked
question,
about the
too.
positive side of that.
Yeah.
You don't hear that very often.
No, you don't.
I had a
But
daughter
Jerry's
older as
an amazing
Yeah,
dad,
he
an
is.
amazing
And
husband,
a
and a great
person
man.
too.
Yeah.
We love, of course, always answering your Facebook questions, and we try to be as honest and open as possible, as we just shown you. Keep sending them our way. We're going to come back, though. We're going outside, and Sue Hitzman's going to take care of that headache of mine.
Yes, I'm going to teach you guys how to use softballs and rollers to eliminate tension headaches and migraines in a simple 10-minute treatment.